Hi, Assalamualaikum. So now this is the second part of the video for topic 4, assign resources. Alright. So in this chapter you're going to learn about how can you assign work resources to a task, control work when adding or removing resource assignments, assign cost resource to a task, and check plan after assigning resources. So previous videos tutorial we've been covered on how can you add how can you add the resource in the resource sheet and also the cost for it, right? And now this second part you're going to learn on how can you assign it to the task. So remember in previous chapter when we set up the task, there's a list of a task, right? And you can actually add each of the tasks, you can add the resources for each of the tasks, so meaning there are people who are responsible for that task. So this is what we're going to do. Alright, so assign work resources to tasks. So just like I said earlier, previous module, previous chapter, we are talking about set up resources. There is a capacity of a resources to work is measured in unit, alright, and recorded in the max unit field. So the specific assignment of a work resource to a task involve an assignment unit value normally expressed as a percentage. So remember the one that we did earlier, the 100% and 200%, alright. So by default, usually one resources, the maximum is 100%. Okay. So unless you specify otherwise, project assign 100% of a unit of the resource of a task, just like I mentioned earlier. Okay. So when you assign a work resource to a task, project use the resource assignment unit and the task duration value to calculate the resulting work. If the resource has pay rate, project also has calculate the resource and task cost for you. So you don't need to calculate how much should you pay each of your resources. The project itself will calculate for you. Alright. So these are the project calculates work by using this formula. Duration multiply assignments unit equal to work. So it can be something like this. If the resources working 40 hours task duration multiplied by 100% assignment units, so it's equal to 40 hours of work. So slightly more complicated example, if let's say you assign 2 resources to a task that has 3-day duration, so it's going to be something like this: 24 hours, which is 8 hours a day task duration, multiply 200% for 2 resources, and then the assignments unit, and then it become 48 hours of total work. So the 48 hours of work is the sum up of each of the 2 resources, 24 hours of work. In other words, both resources will work full time on the task in parallel for its 3 days duration, like 2 person for one task. So after making initial resource assignment to a task, you have some flexibility determining how project should respond when you add subsequent resources to the same task or remove them. So one moment. Okay, here. So when you add which is you assign or you remove the unassigned resources, you can tell project whether you want to change the initial work values and how it might affect other values of assignments and the duration of a task. So the topic control work when adding or removing resource assignment. Alright, so you can assign resources in different ways. The assign resource dialog box works well in task-centric views such as Gantt chart, task sheet, or task usage view. So these are the examples. So except for assign resource, which always appear on the top of the list, resources are sorted alphabetically in the assign resource dialog box. So in the default Gantt chart view, the name of assigned resources appear next to the Gantt bars of the task which they are assigned. So after you assign resources, you can see the result of the assignment in few different ways. So a check mark and cost value appear next to the assigned resources name, and the assigned resource dialog box. Project calculates the cost of assignment and display the resulting value in the cost field of assigned resource dialog box. So another handy view in which you can see assignment detail is a task form view. So in the part 1, you might recognize that the task form is similar to resource form but show different kind of information. So in this type split view, information about the item that is selected in the upper pane appear in the lower pane. So the task form display one of several set of information at a time which are referred to details. Okay, so you can change the display details in the task form with the word details displayed. You can see the essential scheduling values for a task. For example, like the values might be 1 week duration, 40 hours of work, or 100% assignment unit. So another quick way to assign resources is to use resource name column in a Gantt chart. You select the checkbox of the resource you want to assign to active task, and to unassign a resource, click the appropriate checkbox. So let's do this. To assign a word resource to a task. So in this exercise, I would like you to open file named simple assign word resource. Okay, so these are the file. Alright, now click to the task you want to assign resource. Let's say in this case I want to assign for the first one. So you go to the resource tab, and then in the assignment you go to the assign resource. Okay, so you come up with this dialog box which there's a list of resources that you can add for this task. Alright, so in the resource name column here, okay, so click the resource or resource you want to assign, and then click assign. Let's say I want to assign Carol for that, so I just click assign. So you see the name of resources appear here and also here. Or you can perform different way. You go to the resource name, same way, or let's say, okay, I undo. Okay, let's say click the resource name is a column and click arrow that appear. You see that? The arrow, and then you click at the box beside it. Okay, so now to view or edit assignment detail in the task form view. So you can perform this tab in the task sheet or task usage view or in a Gantt chart view. So now you go to the view tab here, and then you go to the split view. Okay, you go to the detail. So you come up with this split view. Alright. Click anywhere in the task form view with the focus on the task form. Okay, note that the label of format tab has changed, this one. Okay. On the format tabs, you click at the work here. Okay, so you see, this is how can you see the task assignment in task form view. Alright, so now we'll move forward to the next, which is control work when adding or removing resource assignments. So as you saw previously, you define the amount of work that a task represent when you initially assign one or more resources to it. So for tasks that are automatically scheduled, project give you an option to control how it should calculate work on a task when you assign additional resources to or unassigned resource for the task. So this option called effort driving scheduling. So it's work like this. The work of a task remain constant as you assign or unassigned resources. So as more resources are assigned to a task, its duration decrease. Remember I said that one resources, the max unit work unit is 100%. If let's say the work require more than 100%, you can change it to 100, but by logic, when it's go to 200%, which means the other resource been included. Alright, but however, if you are using these features, it will control either you 200% will be add one more resources, or is either decrease your duration. So yeah, as the resources are unassigned from a task, its duration increase. So the total work remains the same and is distributed among the remaining assigned resources. So this is what we call effort-driven scheduling. So you have a flexibility in how you apply effort-driven scheduling. By default, effort-driven scheduling is disabled for all tasks you create in project. You can turn on effort-driven scheduling for entire plan of specific tasks. You can also use the option in action list to control how project should recalculate work on a task immediately after assigning or unassigning resources. So let's walk through an example of how effort-driven scheduling works. The example includes the task form we shown the figures because it's a convenient way to see assignment, unit works, and duration values. Okay, so if you're looking at here, initially Toby is assigned to task 5. A quick check of the assignment calculation look like this: 80 hours, which is equal to 10 days or 2 weeks, plus duration of 100% of Toby assignment unit is 80 hours of work. So Toby needs some help in this task, so you add Z to the task, illustrate in this figure, as you can see there. So because the effort-driven schedule is turned off for this task, project add more work to this task and update the assignment values. So 80 hours, the same as 10 days or 2 weeks, task duration multiplied by 200%. That is the sum of Toby and Z assignment unit, which is equal to 160 hours of work. So you can use the action list shown in the figure down there to control how project schedule the work on the task when adding or removing resources. So note that small green triangle in the upper left corner of the name of task 5 is graphical indicator that an action is now available until you perform another action. You can use the action list to choose how you want project to handle the additional resource assignment. So far, this chapter is focused on adjusting duration and work values as you add or remove resource from tasks. You can also change the default setting for the task so that you add resource to the task. Its work remains unchanged and duration decreases. So, okay, let's return the effort-driven scheduling example. Currently, just Z is assigned to task 10, which has 2 weeks duration. In this figure, notice that task form effort-driven schedule currently is off for the task. Okay. So basically, what did I need to do is to assign the resources according to the sample here. So I need to go back to the file. I need to turn off this first. Go to the view. Okay. Alright. Okay, so need to assign the resources to the task since it's not for all here. So I need to do it by myself first. Carol should be for the second task, and then Tony should be for third task. So remember how to assign resources. You go here, you click assign resource, come up with this dialog box, and then for the second task, I want it to be second task should be, sorry, third task should be Tony. Then I click at Tony. Okay, and then next is Sharon and Toby for task number 8. This one, Sharon. And also Toby. Okay, this is example. Alright. So now we want to do the to change the schedule result when you assign additional resource to a task. So select task that already has resource or resource assigned. So in this case, I choose the first one. Alright. So in the assign resource dialog box, click the resource you want to and click assign. Click the action button. Okay, let's see what's happened. Okay, so click the action button that appears just to the left of the task name and select the schedule result you want. Okay, I want to change the view to detailed and see. Okay, oh, okay, it's supposed to be here. Alright, and then click the action button and that appears just to the left of the task name and select the schedule result you want. So actually it's supposed to happen when, okay, let's say I untick Carol for this one. Okay, I add her again. Why is it so many people here? Okay, this one should be just Carol. Okay. Right. Okay, next is to change the schedule result when you remove a resource from a task. So select tasks that have multiple resources assigned. Okay, let's say this one. Okay. And then in the assign resource dialog box, this one, and then you want to remove. Okay. Click the action button that appears just to the left of the task name and then select the schedule result you want. So let's say I want to remove Toby. Okay, you see this action, alright, and then you can just choose whatever result that you want. Okay, now to manage effort driven scheduling for specific tasks or tasks, select the task that you want. Okay, let's say this one. Go to task tab. And then there's a task information. Alright, dialog box. Clear the effort driven. Let's say I want to remove this one, the details, okay, and then go to task tab, and then go to task information, and clear the effort driven checkbox. Okay, it's supposed to be in the advanced one, alright, and then click on effort driver, this one. Okay, so that's how to set the effort driven scheduling. And if let's say you want to turn off, you just go again to the same file, go to that one, and you untick it. Okay, so now move forward. Now we would like to assign cost resource to a task. Okay, so cost resource is just like we were talking earlier. Okay, it's represent a financial cost associated with tasks in the project. So cost resource might include categories of expenses that you want to budget and track for accounting or financial reporting. Cost resources does not occur assignment unit, so they do not work and have no effect on scheduling of a task. In fact, the cost value derived from assigning a cost resource to a task remain the same even if the changes are made to the scheduling of a task, such as assigning and assigning work resource for or changing the task duration. So the cost that task can include those broad categories: work resource costs, such as a person's standard pay rate times and the amount of the work that a person performed on the task. So cost resource costs, which are fixed dollar amount you enter when assigning the cost resources to a task. So the cost derived from a cost resource assignment represent planned costs. So yeah, later you can enter actual costs if you want to compare them with the budget. So how can we do this to assign cost resource to a task? Okay, so let's do this together. In the task-centric view that includes a table, click the task you want to assign a cost resources. Okay, so in the resource tab, and you go to the assignment, you click at the assign resources. Alright, and the assign resource dialog box, you can drag it wherever you want it. Okay, and then in the assign resource dialog box, click the cost. Okay, for resource you want to assign, and then enter value cost for the assignment. So this is how can you do it. Alright, so that one is how to assign cost resource to a task. Basically, you can play around here if let's say you want to change the cost amount here. Right. Okay, now we move forward to the next, which is check the plan after assigning resources. So after you create a task list and assign resources to a task, your plan contains many details. Some of these details are critical to the success of your plan, but that might not be visible in the view you have displayed. So this topic illustrates several ways of seeing a plan key indicators. So project give you many ways to see indicators of a plan. These indicators can help answer such questions like who is assigned to do what work in the plan, how long will it take to complete the project, or how much will it cost, So for many projects, the answer to this question will likely change as time passes. For this reason, it's good practice to quickly be able to show current project status. So this can keep you, the project manager, informed, and it can be also useful information for the resource performing the work. So the project sponsors or the stakeholders who might view the file. Okay, so the cost table include various cost values for each subtask. These subtask cost values roll up to their summary task, and also ultimately all cost values roll up to the project summary task. So as you can see here, project is actually auto calculate for you according to the cost that you have set up earlier. So to shift focus from a task-centric to resource-centric view of a cost, use the cost table in the resource sheet view displayed in this figure. So this view displays the total cost per resources based on the resource pay rates, cost per use, and specific assignment. So project includes many ways of answering who does what when question. A handy view for this purpose is task usage view. So where you can see the task usage view, are we going to do it after this? Okay, so the pivot of this view is resource usage view in the summary table, as you can see here. Alright, so the resource usage view groups the assigned tasks below each resource. This is the same assignment information as shown in the task usage view. So where it's grouped by resources here instead of a task. The two usage view give you insight into who does work or and when, or even you can see if they are over relocated. So now you want to check the plan after assigning resources. So first thing first, we want to check the plan cost per task. So you go to your file, right, on the view tab here, and you go to the task view here. There are so many views here, and then you click at task sheet. Here. Okay, so as you can see, this is how the task being distributed. So as you can see overall, right? So after that, you go to the data group here, okay, and you click at the tables, all right, and you click costs. So these are the cost tables, so you can see how much it costs, right? To check plans cost per resources, okay, now you go to the view again, and then you go to the resource group, resource view groups, and then you click at resource sheet. Alright, so this is the way that you can check plan cost per resources. It's all automatic since when you enter your cost, the project will calculate for you. So these are the cost table up here, replacing the entry table earlier. Alright, now to see resource assignment and other detail grouped by the task. So in the view tab, you go to the task view, okay, here, and then you click at task usage. Oh, here. Okay. So this is appear on the task usage, how much each of a task use these resources. Okay, in the view tab, you go to the data group, you go to the view tab, you go to the data group here, and then you go to the tables again, and you click at summary. So even you can looking at the summary of all the costs here, it's already calculated for you, and it's just a matter of which view that you would like to see. Alright. And to see task assignment and other details grouped by resources, on the view tab, you go to the resource view group, okay, and then you click resource usage here, okay. Alright, so on the view tab, you go to the data group, you go to the tables, and you go to the summary. So you can see the summary of the resource usage. So that's all. It's just about looking at the data, how to understand, but all these actually are being automatically calculated once you have assigned a cost for each of your resources and hours of each of your tasks. So yep, that's all for this chapter. So see you in the next video then.